What's going on, Jerome homies? Your Minnesota Vikings moved to 4-0 on the season, and head coach Kevin O'Connell, hat model, classic, the OG. Although it does look like the logo is like razor stamped. Looks good, man. But he fed the local media jackals on another Victory Monday press conference, another one, right? Talked about some stuff and some things, and we had some thoughts on some stuff and some things. So first up, talked about the quick turnaround. So the Vikings will be traveling to London on Thursday, arriving Friday morning out there. But they're going to have a normal Wednesday install day for the team. They're going to have he said they're going to fly in the afternoon. So it wouldn't shock me if they had some sort of walkthrough on Thursday and then arrive Friday, have practice there. Similar to what they did last year, and then coming home right after the game, doing that up into the bye week. And also talked about how it's good to get a win in division. Didn't really talk about how it became a very near-run thing, right? So here's what I like about Kevin O'Connell. Doesn't get too high, doesn't get too low, and I feel like that permeates through the team. I feel like things haven't really gone bad at points this year, but I feel like that won't affect them. And when things are going good, it's fantastic, get fired up, but also it doesn't give you license to be complacent. So that's what I like about Kevin O'Connell's demeanor. Ivan Pace Jr. Should be back for the Jets game. O'Connell said that he was close for the Packers game, although Kamu's doing pretty good. And as we said, Kamu is a damn solid veteran linebacker. He's great as the cover, the deep middle in cover 2 where he got another interception. So it's good to go. London, like we said, team is protecting the ball better. And of course, last year the Vikings losing that turnover battle. Now the Vikings 21-0 when they're even or they win the turnover battle, which is key. And he chalked Darnold's 2 turnovers. So he had that wheel route where he was just eyeing up Aaron Jones, led to the Xavier McKinney interception, even though he did not complete the act. And then the fumble, where pretty clear that Darnold's arm was moving slightly forward. But Tom Brady would have got that call, but Sam Darnold's not Tom Brady yet. But he chalked that up to bad play calling on his part. I mean, it was a free rusher. What are you going to do, right? And also, the throw to Aaron Jones, might Kevin O'Connell been trying too hard to get Jones in the end zone? I think it's certainly part of that. I feel like he was inferring that without saying it fully, right? Also, they put equal emphasis on taking the ball away. Talked about how various schemes and looks try to promote taking that rock away, maybe taking some chances, putting guys in spots to make plays. He talked about the guys that love football, the high football IQ veterans like AVG, Shaq, Kamu coming in, snagging interceptions early and often. Talked about how offensively your short yardage wasn't good enough yesterday, and that's fair. I mean, that's something that's plagued O'Connell for the last 3 years, where they can't consistently be like, hey, this is our identity on 3rd and short, 4th and short, and I feel like they have the personnel, and the Vikings are running a lot more power this year, a lot more man gap. So, I mean, at a certain point, just line it up. And I know he's an offensive mind, and sometimes they try to get a little bit too fancy, but why reinvent the wheel? You have Christian Darrisaw, who's one of the best left tackles in the game, especially in the run game. You got Josh Oliver, the best blocking tight end in the game. CJ Ham is an absolute hammer at fullback. Blake Brandle's playing damn good. Just run 43 dive or 43 ISO or 43 lead over on that side and just bash the ish out of people. It's like, hey, if you can stop it, hats off to you. But no. Tried to keep his foot on the gas. Could have contributed turnovers, so you could said that the Vikings should have just gone into the prevent offense, just run till Daddy took the T-bird away. But the whole Darnold interception, the Darnold drop back, and then the strip sack. I mean, I respect teams that play to win, and that's exactly what O'Connell was trying to do, right? And also he trusts his players to execute. And you could say, well, offensively they had a desert in that second half. I mean, turnovers are a major part of it, but also field position too, and just errors all over the place. But the Vikings did get it done with that game-sealing field goal drive. Big-time stuff from Sam Darnold. Also, speaking of injuries, you're working through Hockenson and Reisner as they are eligible to return off the PUP/injured reserve, respectively. Said that they'll be a nice boost for the team. Gabriel Murphy, the rookie outside linebacker from UCLA, less sanguine about it. Said he's on a different timetable, so not expecting him back anytime soon. Now, they can kickstart my heart in terms of the 21-day practice window for both Reisner and Hockenson, where they'd have 21 days to return the roster or revert to season-ending IR or PUP list. But I think it could be smart where you got the Jets week, you got the bye week, and then you have the Lions week where you could activate them at the end of it. You could activate them and have them up for the Rams game. Yeah, either way, it's going to be huge because Hockenson is a top 3 tight end. He's not 3, and Reisner will at minimum provide some great depth along the interior offensive line. Very happy with the wide receiver room, and not just only making plays. Jets, Addison, Speedy Naylor outside of 2 plays. Yeah, but also Brandon Powell had a couple big catches as well. Trent Sherfield had some great blocks, which is his MO. So, and also Justin Jefferson had a couple great blocks as well, especially on that Jordan Addison running touchdown. So it's great. 4th and 1, chalked it up to they made a play we didn't. Said they were excited about the call. And it's a play that worked against the Texans on 4th and inches, and also O'Connell said that they were thinking that they had a chance to score in that spot, but either way it didn't happen. And then the defense let them march 96 yards in 5 plays. Not that I'm still bitter. Yeah. Josh Oliver got a huge shout out. He's the most physical player on the field. He's a mountain of a man. And also, if you watch the game back too, like there were times where he was ISO'd on Preston Smith, ISO'd on Rashawn Gary. So it wasn't just Darisaw and O'Neal that kept the edge pretty quiet for the Vikings on Sunday. I mean, Josh Oliver, I know that people piss and moan about, 3 years, $21 million for a blocking tight end. Yes, and also caught the touchdown early, caught a screen pass late, which extended a drive, which was really key for the Vikings to have some momentum and keep the defense on the sideline. So all that is good. Aaron Jones. So he didn't necessarily straight up say that he was trying to get Aaron Jones a touchdown, but he didn't need to say it, right? But, hyped up 33. He's going to meet the moment. And also he looks at total yardage, not just rushing, because receiving is a huge part of his game as well. Also, Jones had a great catch along the sideline where he had to turn his entire body around, and he caught it with his hands. And we said yesterday, like, that's a catch that a lot of receivers don't make. And the fact that he's doing it as a running back, fantastic. Also, his pass blocking is great. And, looking forward to the Jets. O'Connell said the previous 4 weeks mean absolutely nothing, and he talks about what has been separating the Vikings from some other teams in the league. Good preparation leading to confidence, and that's exactly what the Vikings have been doing. Right, and I love this mentality because, I mean, if O'Connell was out here thumping his chest saying, who demand, we demand, who demand, we demand, like that's going to permeate and matriculate down to the players, and they be getting high off their own supply. They start reading their own headlines. All of a sudden, you're going to get humbled, right? But the Vikings, every single week, like they understand it's tough to win a game in the National Football League. They got to bring it. They got to prep well. They got to get after things. And yeah, it is a unique challenge, playing in London this week. But the Jets still have those same challenges. Although they are traveling from 2 time zones closer. Yeah. But not worried about that. Also, he reflected on his time with the Jets as a backup quarterback back in the day, building that relationship with Mike Pettin, who was the Jets DC at that time, and talked about coming in as a backup quarterback and talking ball, and it's just great, man. And also, I mean, that was his foundation for becoming a head coach, where it's like, well, I feel like O'Connell could have beat out Mark Sanchez. Like, did he see Mark Sanchez? Yeah, but either way, like he found ways to contribute. Watching film, having positive input, and he fell in love with coaching, and that's what he's been doing ever since, right? Also, with slinging Sam Darnold, accuracy is off the charts. I mean, that dot that he dropped on Jefferson for the touchdown, I mean, it's a hell of a play by Jefferson. It was a hell of a throw by Darnold, too. And also talked about how Darnold has gotten more comfortable giving Jefferson 50-50 shots, because that was the thing out of week 1 where Jefferson only had 6 targets, even though it did lead the team. But Darnold building up that trust, just like, even when he's covered, I'm going to give him a shot at those 50-50 balls, because they're not 50-50. They're more like 90-10 with Justin friggin' Jefferson. So week of preparation, normal practice on Wednesday, like we said, probably a walkthrough Thursday morning, and then travel, be in London in the morning. They're going to sleep on the plane, and the Vikings and Kevin O'Connell, like, they're health and recovery specialists. They're very dialed in with how to do this. It worked in 2022. Vikings went out and got a win against the Saints, and we'll see. I mean, the Vikings have a very strong chance to move to 5-0 before the bye. 1 game at a time. Woosah. But your thoughts are thoughts. Head coach Kevin O'Connell feeding the local media jackals on Monday after the win over the Packers. Looking ahead to the Jets. Let us know your thoughts, our thoughts, his thoughts. Comment section. You guys know what to do. Skol. Production value.